All right, welcome to Goodkind. I am Michael Goodkind, and that is Parker Van Dyke. Phenomenal University of Utah basketball player, played in the G League, and also the Goodkind analyst for Major League Baseball, all things NFL, all things college sports, and all things NBA. So Parker, the headline today, or this week, is that Pete Alonso signs a 5-year, $155 million deal, and he's going to the O's. The O's are going to be loaded. They had a rough go at it this past season, but 2 years ago, I guess the 2024 season, I think they won the East, or they at least went to the postseason.
Went to the postseason. Yeah, Yankees won the East, but they're retooling to make another run. Last year they kind of had a lot of the same offensive firepower, but their pitching wasn't great, and so a race last year. Hopefully they can build off this year from 2024, but. Mike, as we were talking, I think we were surprised about the deal happening because we kind of both thought that Pete Alonso would have been a Met for life. And so heart goes out to the Mets fans losing to a guy like Pete Alonso, who was kind of in line to be the next David Wright type guy, the next captain of the Mets. And but he's gone. He's in Baltimore now.
So as a Met fan, I think Mets fans are devastated.
Yeah.
Because Pete Alonso, he's been with them through thick and thin. What is it, probably 8 seasons? Maybe 7, 8 seasons? Something like that. He's been there a while, dude.
Yeah, coming off another big year, All-Star, Silver Slugger Award, and the Mets are still in a good position. They have Francisco Lindor, they've got Juan Soto still. They just re-signed Polanco, one of their infielders. But losing Edwin Diaz and losing Pete Alonso, 2 big-time players in your system, in the same week,
yep.
That's a tough call for Mets fans. Something that Mets fans are honestly used to, but it's still heart-wrenching for them.
Well, and the Mets have been through a lot of change. I mean, they had Jacob deGrom for a bit, obviously. They've had a lot of pitching changes. Their rotation has never necessarily been steady year after year. And now Edwin Diaz, their main guy out of the pen, obviously, and relief, declines a $66 million deal and takes $3 extra million from the Dodgers and goes to LA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a blow too.
Yeah, and a couple of years ago, Pete Alonso got offered a 7-year, $158 million deal extension from the Mets, but Pete and his representation decided to put that off, thought they could get more in the market, and then it's funny that they kind of get a similar deal a couple of years later from Baltimore. So, yeah, it's a tough one for New York Mets fans, but it's exciting for Baltimore. Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, you got Jackson Holliday coming through the ranks, and now you got Pete Alonso to bolster that lineup and to compete in the best division in baseball, the AL East.
Loaded division. And then on the opposite side, the most dominated division, the West. The Dodgers haven't lost that division in, I can't even tell you, it's got to be like 12 years. Probably since the last title for the Giants in 14.
They've been running that division for sure, and the Diamondbacks have had a good couple years. San Francisco's been up and down in the West, but talking about the AL East, you've got Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays will all be back. Yep. Those were 3 postseason teams. Obviously, the Blue Jays going to the World Series, Yankees going the year before. Baltimore, we expect to be back, new management and this Pete Alonso deal, and they can get some better pitching. And then the Rays are always solid. The Rays are never an easy team to beat, and so expect them to be back in the playoff hunt. And yeah, the AL East is just a gauntlet of a division every year, and it's which makes it so much fun to watch. And there's so many fun pennant races in that division between those teams.
Talked about this in the previous video where we talked baseball, but the league does seem to have a lot going on in terms of star power and bigger markets. I think Baltimore is a pretty big market, and now they're gaining Alonso. I think even having newer star power in markets that are on the come up too, like again, Baltimore, right? Baltimore's not necessarily a powerhouse in Major League Baseball in terms of markets that are exploding, but same with Toronto. And then the Jays ran in all of Canada, obviously, was going crazy for the Jays in the World Series. And the World Series had the greatest ratings, I can't even tell you in how long, right? So now you have a market like Baltimore on the come up. I mean, how good is that for Baltimore, A, B, for Major League Baseball?
I think the Orioles are a great brand. When Baltimore's good, I think it's a baseball city, and so it only helps Major League Baseball when they're in the hunt. And I think we kind of the Major League Baseball just kind of dispersed some of their star power. There's so much star power in New York, and you just took one of their stars and you put them in Baltimore. where he's going to be able to compete against the Red Sox, against the Blue Jays, against the Yankees. There's going to be a lot of eyes on him. And there's still plenty of star power with the Mets, with Lindor and Soto and their crew up there. And so there's just every team, just about every team in Major League Baseball has kind of this must-see star player, which is what makes the league so much fun. And like we talked about, it's why it's so popular right now.
It really needed this too, because I think like when the NBA started taking off, and I want to say the 2010s, it had kind of a little bit of a down period after Kobe and the Lakers three-peated. But there was a come-up period where John Wall was in Washington and running DC. And, you obviously had that, crew in Boston with the Celtics kind of on the come down. But nonetheless, like every single team had a superstar, in that era of basketball. And now I kind of feel like baseball's in the same position where it's like almost every single team has a superstar.
Yeah, has a guy that you need to watch. And I think what Pete Alonso brings to the table is he's a fun at-bat watcher. He's great at the plate, big-time home runs in his career. He's probably the best home run derby hitter we've ever seen. And I expect to see some big moments. He finally had his Mets big moment in the postseason against Milwaukee a couple years back.
Yeah.
So I expect him to have some big-time moments in Camden Yards, which is one of the best stadiums in baseball. And
great hitters.
So we'll
park.
see. Great hitters park. So it's an opportunity to see Pete Alonso, one of your big stars, playing in Fenway and playing in New York, playing at Yankee Stadium throughout the whole year. And so it's exciting news for the Baltimore Orioles as they try to, build off that 2024 season.
And then, I think last question here, kind of just to recap everything and wrap everything up, but Major League Baseball on a whole, like let's just give it a grade right now in terms of the offseason, how the World Series was in comparison to the season before and the offseason before.
Well, in terms of the way the postseason ended in the World Series, like we've talked about, it was such a great World Series, so many eyeballs, so much viewership. I'd give that an A.
Yep.
The one thing I'm worried about is, and we know later on down the year, after next year, is there's that player ownership agreement coming to an end here.
MLBPA,
which could lead to a strike, which is the last thing any of us want to see. So if something can be done going into this next year where baseball will continue without a strike or a pause in play, I think that's the key for Major League Baseball going forward. And so, but it's just an exciting time right now. We just had our first repeat in 25 years since the Yankees with the Dodgers winning.
Repeated for the first time, right?
Yeah, and I just think highly competitive baseball with your stars playing like stars. That's key, and as long as we can keep baseball going and no pause or no lockout or no strike or anything like that, that's the key for Major League Baseball going forward.
All right, we'll have it for you here on the channel, Goodkind. We'll keep videos coming out. Please give us recommendations for what you want us to talk about. I think Major League Baseball, obviously storylines across the NBA, storylines across college football as well. Let us know in the comments what y'all think. For now, PVD, Goodkind. We'll see you next time. Be good, be kind.
We're out.
Love it.